Hello, my name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks. And tonight I want to talk about why I would rather be playing the piano. And what would you rather be doing? And I think it's a goofy topic, but I feel really the call to talk about it. So I thought I had turned off the volume, and I just did. Okay. So, anyway, before we get into this, I think, fascinating topic, I'm turning this over to Sweet Baby James to talk about our show.
Yes. Yes, hello everybody. Sweet Baby James, otherwise known as James Maynard. Welcome to the show. This is Granny Rocks, where Granny will rock our world with all sorts of wit, wisdom, and uncommon sense. So without further ado, here's Granny.
And we already have a comment from Elizabeth. Hello with a heart. Hello with a heart back to you. So, why am I talking about I'd rather be playing the piano and you'd rather be with a question mark? Well, because that's what I feel. I kept asking myself this afternoon, well, what do I want to talk about? And I kept hearing, I want to talk about why I'd rather be playing the piano. So, this show is very intuitively guided, and we're very honest, and so there we are. We're going to ask that question of why would I rather be playing the piano? What would you rather be doing? And why aren't we doing it? Or are we? Right? So, let's see. First of all, let's see if we have some people who are willing to share openly at this point what they would rather be doing. I don't mean rather than watching Granny Rocks right now, because obviously that's the best thing anybody could be doing, right? But I guess it's in your life. What would you rather be doing than what you are doing? And let's talk about it. And I'm going to get into why I'd rather be playing the piano. So, okay, Todd said hi there.
Hi, Todd.
And he hasn't answered the question of what he'd rather be doing, but we're glad to have you, Todd.
I have something I'd like to share.
Okay.
Well, I'd rather be making music, so specifically singing, or perhaps playing my horn. But I love singing. I love how it makes me feel. I feel really good inside, real harmonious when I make music.
That's very cool. And Elizabeth said she'd rather be hiking, biking, camping in the woods. Yeah.
To each her own.
Indeed. So that's really wonderful. I'm glad people, keep sharing as you can about what you would rather be doing. So I want to talk a little bit about me and the piano, and then let's see where all of this is going to take us, because I have no idea what I'm talking about tonight, really.
Because you're intuitively guided.
I'm doing it anyway. So I love playing the piano. When I was a little girl, and when I say little girl, I mean, maybe 10, 12 kind of little girl. I felt three things that I wanted to do. Catalina says, I'd rather be paddling on the ocean.
Ooh, nice one.
Well, maybe we can do this at least in our collective dream here. Maybe we can feel ourselves. Maybe we can get to the bottom of what it is we'd rather be doing and try to find a way to do it, even if we can't do that thing. For example, I can play the piano, at least to a limited extent, but maybe Luann can't be paddling on the ocean. So what is the essence of the thing that we would rather be doing, and how can we gift ourselves with doing that essential thing? Wouldn't that be really cool?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like these are activities that would give someone more joy, more of a sense of fun and enjoyment in life.
Yeah, well, not me. I wouldn't rather be paddling on the ocean.
But that person, yes. Or
Absolutely.
the other person hiking, biking, camping.
Hiking, biking, camping in the woods. Oh my God, no, not me. I'd rather be playing the piano. So, anyway, as I was telling you, when I was young, I felt really conflicted. I wanted to be a social revolutionary. Good morning. We have a good morning from a friend in the Middle East. Good morning to you. Glad to see you.
Good morning.
I'm not giving his name because it's in Arabic and I don't know what it is. But
Mhm.
you know who you are, and we know who you are, and we're glad to see you. Um, so I was torn between wanting to play the piano and be in music, wanting to be a social revolutionary and overthrow the order of things, and wanting to be a psychologist. And when I was 15, I became chronically ill and disabled and couldn't play the piano anymore. So I went on and I tried other things. Oh, Lisa says, I am pretty content with my crazy life. I love that, Lisa. But I yearn for time to do my art, drawing and painting. Well, here's another one,
Oh,
right? I'd rather be
wonderful.
drawing and painting. I love that. I want you to be thinking as I'm babbling about what it is the essence of the thing. Can you either do those things or can you find some other way to get what that essence is that you'd rather be doing?
Mm.
So when I think about it, it wasn't just, though, that I felt that I was too sick. Oh, let's see if we can get a translation here. Oh, my name, Emad. Oh, that's probably saying that his name is Emad. Wonderful. If I said that right,
Mm.
please let me know if you are Emad. That's
Nice to meet
wonderful.
you, Imad.
Thank you. So I think it was way more than that I was too sick. I mean, first of all, I wasn't that good at the piano at that time, and it just shocks me that I'm actually good at the piano now. But also, I think I felt like, not only couldn't I do it, but it wasn't a serious pursuit. I looked around the world and I said, this world is so screwed. I have to do something to fix it.
There you go.
Right. So either I was going, oh, yes, good. Emad said, yes, good. Okay, we got it. We got
Wonderful,
it. Thank
wonderful.
you. You may have to remind me the next time because I do not have a good memory. So I felt like it was way more important to fix the world than play the piano. I mean, it felt kind of self indulgent. You know what I mean? Selfish to play the piano. It's like, what good is it going to do anybody? Well, what I actually have discovered that a lot of things we do aren't good. They don't do any good for anybody anyway. But we think they're going to be good, you know, or we do stuff because we think we're going to make a living,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, I've been there,
And
done
so
that.
obviously that's way more important than doing what we're suited to do or what we care about. So there's the living part. And nobody ever said, Beth, you really ought to go to college in music. Well, nobody thought I was that good. But also, it just wasn't on the radar. I had important things to do.
More important things
More
to do.
important things to do. And did I? I really wonder if they were more important. Now, I am grateful to say that in my life, I have done, quote, psychology because I became an intuitive counselor. Even though I didn't do it the psychologist way, I certainly have helped a lot of people emotionally. And I was a social activist and still am a spiritual activist, so I've done all of that. But here at the age of 76, I'm going back to music. And I love it. I'm thinking, what do I want to talk about on Granny Rocks tonight? It's like, oh God, I am so sick of all the negativity and the criticism and, oh, he's no good, she's no good. You know, I felt this when Trump was in office. Sometimes I felt like every time he breathed, somebody was attacking him.
Mm.
Now, I didn't like the guy and I didn't like his policies, but I also didn't like the fact that people were always like looking to pounce on him. And now that Biden is in office, it's the same thing. You open up the news and what do you see? Fox News has some negative thing to say about every single thing the guy is doing. It's like we're so polarized. It's just absolutely disgusting. I don't want to participate in that. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to participate in that before. I don't want to participate in that then. I want to help bring beauty and solace and comfort and courage to our world. Now, some people get that from my music. I live stream every Thursday night, which is tomorrow, at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and then you can watch afterwards. And it seems like people are inspired by the music, so hopefully that makes them stronger. And then they can go back into the world and take care of business, because they feel more well inside. See, but it never dawned on me, never, that I needed to find a way to nurture myself before I could nurture anyone else.
Mm. Yep.
You know, it's like what they tell you in the airplane, take the oxygen before you give it to your kids, because if you drop dead, you're not going to be able to help your kids, right? But I never was able to do that. And let's see, we have a comment from Blanca. Hi, hola, Blanca.
Hola.
So there it is. I didn't even think about it. I felt it was self-indulgent. I didn't understand the connection between me and the universe. I thought that I had to be a good girl and help everybody, and I didn't realize that I am part of that universe and that I won't be able to do anything if I'm trashed. And as a social activist, I want to tell you, I was trashed. I had a very difficult life. And Blanca said, Beth and James, benediciones.
Oh,
Gracias, Blanca.
gracias.
That's blessings. Blessings to you también. So, I thought that my paradigm was that I had to give everything to the cause, that it was selfish of me to even think about myself. And I don't know well, there is a long story about where I got that idea, but that paradigm that I needed to give first and be whole later is kind of upside down,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that what happened was that I was kind of angry and not very well, and I didn't have that much to give. Blanca says, thanks. You're welcome, honey. We're always happy to see you. Blanca's from Ecuador. So I want you to think about that. Do you have some kind of goofy paradigm that says, okay, you have to give first, or maybe you think you have to support the family first, that's your made to be the provider. There's no balance. There's no, I have to nurture myself also, or maybe even before I have anything good to, because you see what I'm saying? When I'm empty or resentful, even if I do good things, the energy coming from me is angry
Mm-hmm.
because I am empty and resentful.
Mm.
Do you ever do that?
I have another example from my life.
Okay.
Uh, After I'd set foot on a spiritual path and was meditating, I had a discussion with a couple of lady friends who were graduate students. This is when I was in law school. And they convinced me that it's more important to be part of the political revolution that was going on in the country, equal justice for all, and it was selfish and self-centered to be meditating and doing spiritual inner work. And then a year and a half later, I encountered one of these women again, and she was on a spiritual path now. And she was going to a guru in an ashram and meditating and all this. And I says, what is going on here?
That's funny.
And so I thought, wait a minute, maybe I need to revisit this.
Yeah.
And I did. And so then I was able to combine connecting with a greater wholeness within myself while also being involved in social activism.
That's a very important point. And by the way, Angelina says, good night from Guyana. Love you both. Well, we love you too, and we're so happy to hear from you. And Catalina says, giving to others first is how I was taught by my mother. So that's what I did until I got sick and couldn't give anymore. Oh my God, that's such an important point, Catalina, because we do that. I did the same thing. I got sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker emotionally. and as well as sicker physically, because otherwise I thought I was being selfish. Wrong paradigm. You see, everything is kind of upside down. Because, first of all, we have a belief in the Stream, which is the spiritual organization that I founded back in 1983, which is that what we do must be for the highest good of all, and the highest good of all includes me. It includes me. And connecting to my spirituality, if that's the right word for it, but my deepest essence, and nurturing myself is in fact the highest good of all, because then there's somebody home, me, and I can give with love and grace and joy, because I have something inside to give with.
And you've commented a number of times that when you play the piano, you feel like you connect with your soul, your inner being, your higher consciousness, and it nurtures you, and then you bring that out to others, to your world.
Well, that is so true. And I feel like, oh, okay, that's nice, but that has to be a sideline. I can't put the energy or the time or the money into the piano that I should be putting into my spiritual teaching or helping people or writing books and all of that. And
or charity.
Or charity or something. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm running out of time. Hey, listen, guys, if you have not run out of time yet, I want you to think about what you would do. Now, I want to go back to some of the examples that people gave of what they would rather be doing. If you cannot do those things, and for me, playing the piano was always, it had to be perfect. Oh my God, it had to be perfect, because I was trained as a classical pianist. Even though I had to quit piano when I was 15 because of chronic illness, it had to be perfect. And so, oh my God, I can't offer it to the world if it isn't perfect. Well, how do I know that what you need from me is perfection? How do I know that what you need from me isn't some energy that I'm channeling in that moment? See, I am seriously considering making an album of music that I perform. I improvise, right? And I improvise on video every Thursday night when I do Dreams of Peace. And it's always, it's good enough. People love it, and I don't worry about it, because if I don't like the note, it passes. Who cares? Who's listening to that one note? It's like, But I started to think about making an album that would be on maybe on the radio, on iTunes or something. And I thought, oh my God, they're going to hear it. And then that's serious. I mean, that's music. That's music. And they might listen to it again, and they're going to say, oh my God, that sucks. This woman is so, I'm getting crazy. I'm making myself crazy. I can't just play the same way on the radio that I can play in my video, because in the video is like, oh, we have a relationship, and if I hit a weird note, that's okay. And I'm thinking, why? If what I need to do is put out a certain energy, and you need to feel it and hear it, why isn't that good enough? Why does it have to be something different?
It doesn't have to be any particular thing if it works.
That's right. So what I would rather be doing is playing the piano the way I play the piano, which I improvise. It's just the only way I can play the piano. And there will be someone out there in this world that needs to hear that. And I have to have faith in that. And that whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's painting or doing art, or just paddling in the ocean, or hiking or whatever it is, if you can do it, do it. And if you can't do it, ask yourself, what is the essence of what I want to do? How does that feed my soul? How does it feed the souls of other people? Where did we get the idea that feeding our souls is not as important as feeding our bellies Now, I understand that if you're really hungry, you probably care more about getting food than listening to music, although the music might help you, right?
It's good for
So
morale.
I can understand that. I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't a hierarchy of needs and so on. But maybe you're already getting food, and maybe you need soul food. And maybe everyone on the planet needs soul food. And maybe I have a part to play in offering you soul food. So I'm going to stick with that. I want you to think about your own life. I'm very, very serious. I'd rather be doing what? It doesn't mean you have to stop. I haven't stopped counseling, and I haven't stopped doing Granny Rocks, and I haven't stopped thinking, and I still watch the news and all of that. But I'm doing it in such a different way. As I nurture myself by playing the piano and thinking about music and trying to figure out what to do with that music, I feel so much better, more stable in myself, more nurtured in myself, and everything that I do is more calm. I I don't want to be one of those hysterical, angry, rightist, leftist, middle of the roadist. I want to be a balanced, nurtured person who can listen, can see, can be at a higher level of awareness where I can actually look at what's going on and not be so darned reactive. And I know that the way that I am less reactive is when I'm getting my needs met. Now, I realize that, for instance, I'm working with my insurance company, my drug company, and they're charging $675 for a 72-day supply of my medication. And I'm trying to work with them and not freak out too much about how slow this process is and how I might not be able to get the medication that I need. But I'm going to keep feeding my soul. And as I do, I can handle it. I breathe. Because there's more to me than just the person who's yelling at the drug company. There's more to me than the person who's angry about the political situation. There's a me that is connected to the source, to my spiritual energy, that is calm and that is loving and giving. Jose said, God bless you, Mama and Papa.
God bless you, Jose.
God bless you, Jose. So I think that should be it for tonight. Don't forget Granny Rocks every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And you can chat with us if you call in live or, when we can answer you. But if you write in later, no problem. I will always answer you if I can understand what you're saying. I love to talk to our fans and the wonderful people out there who we love. And Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, Dreams of Peace, improvisational piano, where I hope that I'm not only feeding my soul, but I'm feeding yours. And I hope I'm feeding your soul too on Granny Rocks, right? I don't need to be as clever and as some of those commentators who look so, I don't know, hot and have so many followers.
Shock jocks.
Shock jocks. They can have the followers. We can have the soul. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye bye. And how do I? Yes.